There are many smart and cunning individuals in the music business, individuals who will do anything to obtain their goals. Puff Daddy, often known as Diddy, is a moniker that ranks very high on this list. Diddy has established a solid reputation as a nasty, crafty individual in the profession. He is a timid snake who has ascended the power pyramid through treachery, backstabbing, and exploiting others, never going up against a guy directly. Bully who has no fear of anyone, almost no one, with the exception of the extremely dangerous Suge Knight. One thing's for sure, Suge hates Diddy's guts. But why? That's what we're finding out in this video. But of course, before I spill anything, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this. Now, let's dive in. Diddy has established a sizable empire in the music business. He owns a very lucrative record company that is home to some incredible performers. He has enormous power and can make or break anyone's career. But do you know what most people in the industry think of him? Nothing good, that's for sure. He is nothing more than a coward who bullies young men while protected by his bodyguards. If there is one thing that Diddy will never do, it is to fight like a man. Diddy is the man who whimpers when a shot is heard. He's not a fighter, that much is clear. He's a timid, small man dressed in a bulky suit. Diddy plays the sly one because he is aware of his lack of fighting prowess. He delegates work to others so that he never has to speak in front of an audience. He may wreck lives from the background instead. He may not have gained much respect for this, but he has undoubtedly gained a lot of power. Puffy enjoys portraying himself as tough and masculine, but there is one man who makes him feel uneasy. Yes, you are correct. Diddy will never defend himself against Suge Knight. Like Diddy, Suge is a record executive, but he doesn't back down from a confrontation. Diddy fears Suge because of the way he fights, like a guy. Suge has a reputation for being a complete thug who doesn't mind getting his hands dirty. He is quite active and outspoken about his affiliations. In fact, you can tell by the way he resolves disputes. If you get in his way, he won't hesitate to pull out the pistols and shoot you in the head, figuratively, of course. A crazy tale about Suge mistreating Diddy was recounted by Mark Curry. Diddy was powerless to respond in any way. This ought to be incredibly degrading and disrespectful to a man like Puffy. But Puffy was aware that confronting someone like Suge Knight head-on is a fatal effort. Suge would easily snap his neck, and Puffy would be unable to fight him off. In another incident, Suge slapped Diddy right across the face, and once again, Diddy made no attempt to get back at him. He just stood there perplexed. Keith Murray acted out the entire funny scene in a very animated manner. Everyone held their breath to see how Diddy would react after Suge hit him. You already know how he fared. Diddy made an effort to preserve what little of his reputation he still had by appearing to be letting Suge get away with it, but everyone was aware of the reality. Puffy prefers to use his bodyguards and powerful pals as a shield when he wants something, but when the struggle gets to his door, he shrinks back to the size of a helpless dog. Physical fight is the only time Diddy has let Suge disrespect him and get away with it, because he's a coward who can't stand up for himself. In fact, Suge very publicly disrespected him. At the Source Awards 25 years ago, Suge openly referred to Diddy in his speech and mocked him, saying to all you artists out there who don't want to be on a record label, we're the executive producers all up in the videos, all in the records dancing, then come to death row. But once again, Puff Daddy proved himself to be a spineless man who would take any disrespect but won't have the courage to fight back. He went ahead and congratulated Suge. Yes, you heard that right. Diddy praised Suge right after he disrespected him. It appeared briefly that the cowardly Diddy may start fighting back. Suge was said to be attending a conference with all of his thugs and gang members to discipline Diddy. Diddy appeared to be prepared to answer this time. Of course, it is impossible to instantly transform a snake into a lion. Puff was rumored to be bringing a sizable group of goons from New York. Puff missed the conference when it started, and according to a billboard, it was because of threats from Suge. However, it might actually surprise you that Suge and Diddy didn't always have such a nasty relationship. They used to be fairly close at one point. Well, it's because Diddy knows he needs stronger people by his side. But once this friendship fell apart, Puff Daddy realized the power imbalance between them. Suge Knight could easily destroy Diddy, and Diddy had no intention of finding out how. So he does what he knows best, to be a coward and leave the ring right in the middle of the fight. Today, Diddy is known for being a coward who uses others to carry out his conflicts for him. To eliminate his adversaries, he dispatches guards and assassins, be it Biggie Smalls or Tupac in jail. Blood is all over Diddy's hands. He may never approach someone directly, yet he is unafraid to engage in dishonest behavior. There is a lot to be said about Diddy's dubious character. He isn't just morally ambiguous and weak-willed, he is also entirely chicken-hearted. If it means obtaining his desired outcome, he will descend to any height, even if it requires him to bow down in front of a man. Well, at least that's how Suge and all the other artists that feel hate against him think. Many people believe Diddy established his empire through such egregious practices. Some people claim he sold his body. Some others claim he sold his soul. If this is accurate, it means that Puff Diddy even entered into an intimate relationship with the music industry boss Clive Davis in order to launch Bad Boy Records. Jaguar Wright was quite candid in her discussion of Diddy and Clive's romance. She claims Clive controls Diddy, since Diddy would make anyone his god if it meant having power, fame, and money. It shouldn't really come as a surprise. This appeared to be an open secret in the sector that Clive controls. What Diddy does and Diddy hides behind Clive's influence and power to get anywhere he wants. This isn't nearly close to being the worst thing Diddy has ever done. His moral corruption will leave you shocked, so be prepared, because the next story is as horrible as it gets. Puff Daddy is famous for one more very problematic thing. He is interested in boys. You heard it. Boys, not men. In fact, he's allegedly a predator who goes after innocent, defenseless children. One of his alleged poor victims is none other than the singer who was once under his care. Usher. Usher's mom left him at Diddy's place, thinking he'll teach the little boy the ropes of the music business. But Diddy was one sly, evil man who took advantage of his trust. Diddy accidentally gave away the fact that the two had been sleeping in the same bed when Usher was only 10, and Diddy was much older than him. Does this imply that they were involved intimately? The likelihood that the answer is a terrifying yes is very high. Funny how afraid Suge Diddy constantly seems to make him appear. Suge Knight appears to be a recurring character in every one of Diddy's nightmares. Fortunately for Diddy, Suge received a 28-year prison term, but Diddy notices that his end is drawing closer with each year that goes by. People find it amusing that Suge usually had Diddy acting like his dog, who would walk all over you shamelessly. What man in his right mind would consent to being pulled around a club by another man? Of course, not one who harbors any shame. One fan commented on this behavior. I see why Diddy hated Suge now. LOL, Suge had him in full Nelson walking around the club. But what do you think about Diddy in general? If you had the chance, would you be friends with him? Let us know in the comments. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video. And if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this.